So Dr. Fauci's closest colleague during COVID, Dr. Scott Atlas, said there is a good reason for Congress to investigate Fauci. Nancy Pelosi steps down from Democratic leadership. Former Vice President Mike Pence just shut down the January 6th committee, and Facebook has yet another new problem. Oh, and China says that Trump shouldn't be president. All right, folks, we got a lot to cover today, so we're just going to jump right into it. Elon Musk's Twitter layoffs are a painful experience for the company, according to experts. And Twitter workers continue to resign after Musk's hardcore ultimatum. Now, it says here that hundreds of employees signaled they were leaving ahead of a Thursday deadline set by Musk, posting a salute emoji or other symbols familiar to Twitter workers on the company's internal Slack messaging board. Some even took to Twitter to announce they were signing off after the deadline. Twitter leadership sent an unsigned email after the deadline announcing that offices would be closed and employee badge access disabled until Monday. No reason was given, and this is according to an employee who took the voluntary layoff on Thursday and spoke on condition of anonymity because of the confidentiality required to get severance pay. So there's some things going on internally in Twitter that they don't want folks to know about. At the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of folks out of a job. While it's not clear exactly how many of Twitter's already decimated staff took Musk up on his offer, the newest round of departures means that the platform is continuing to lose workers just as it's gearing up for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, one of the busiest events on Twitter that can overwhelm its systems if things go haywire. So, expect to see Twitter going down and possible outages without the workforce available to take care of these system failures with all these layoffs going on. And it says that since taking over Twitter less than 3 weeks ago, Musk has booted half of the company's full-time staff of 7,500 and an untold number of contractors responsible for content moderation and other crucial efforts. And he fired top executives on his first day as Twitter owner, while others left voluntarily in the ensuing days. Earlier this week, he began firing a small group of engineers who took issue with him publicly or in the company's internal Slack messaging system. Then, overnight on Wednesday, Musk sent an email to the remaining staff at Twitter saying that it is a software and servers company at its heart, and he asked employees to decide on Thursday evening if they want to remain part of the business. Musk wrote that employees will need to be extremely hardcore to build a breakthrough Twitter 2.0, and that long hours at high intensity will be needed for success. Lots of layoffs, demands long hours, probably no increase in pay. I hope folks are ready and prepared for what is happening on a large scale all across the country and around the world. As we see that Newsweek reports diesel shortage update as U.S. supply will barely make it through winter. Newsweek asks the question, how much diesel is left in the United States? We have reports of 25 days of reserves, 25 days of supply left. A lot of folks are asking questions. It's been 25 days. Are we out of diesel? Well, it says here that Patrick DeHaan, Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, told Newsweek, we've seen distillate supplies rise slightly to 26 days, and inventories rose about 400,000 barrels, while the areas with the lowest inventories saw a well-needed rise in supplies as well. Though the diesel shortage is affecting the entire country, inventory are particularly low on the East Coast, with the Northeast experiencing the highest diesel prices, according to Georgia-based major fuel supply and logistics company Mansfield Energy. The Southeast is reporting the worst supply outages, a combination of high demand and low inventory caused by the decreased capacity of U.S. refineries, which many of which have closed since 2020 or have been repurposed, and bans on the imports of Russian petroleum products have caused the diesel shortage it has left farmers and homeowners struggling on the verge of challenging winter. Transportation costs continue to rise due to the tight supply, with average diesel prices holding around $5.36 a gallon nationally, but some areas are seeing diesel over $6 a gallon, according to Dahan. Now, this is alarming to say the least, but this is a warning for folks that are relying heavily on diesel fuel directly and indirectly as we go into winter. And although they're going up from 25 days of inventory to 26 days, up to 400,000 barrels, I would not take that as any sign that we're on the mend. And with that being said, we're seeing reports here coming in from multiple different cities and states. Alarming information, folks. Rising natural gas costs impacting Energy Mississippi customers' bills. And it says that home energy costs soar across U.S. near 10-year highs. Jackson, Mississippi, nearly 70% of the electricity produced by Entergy Mississippi comes from natural gas, which has doubled in price over the last year. Unfortunately, this increase will soon begin affecting all customers' bills. CBS Pittsburgh, electric supply costs in Pennsylvania increasing up to 34% on December 1st. So that's literally like just a couple weeks from now, folks. 34% increase on your electric supply costs in Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission is warning customers to prepare for rising energy costs this winter. Electric and gas bills are made up of two parts: the delivery or distribution charge and the generation or supply charge. For those who don't shop, the generation or supply charge is determined by the energy supplier's price to compare, which makes up about 40 to 60% of utility bills. All Pennsylvania regulated electric utilities are adjusting their price to compare on December 1st for residential non-shopping customers. And this is according to the State Public Utility Commission. It says that in the Pittsburgh area, Duquesne Light customers will see an estimated 20.2% increase on their bills, and Wellsboro Electric customers will see the largest increase at 34%. Folks, they're hitting your wallets. They're hitting your wallets. Inflation is no one. I've said this before. No one is immune from inflation, and this inflation, despite CPI reports from the Fed coming in at slightly under 7.7% compared to last month, year over year, the prices are still going up, and a lot of these prices going up are on necessities and costs that won't be calculated in monthly CPI inflation reports. So remember that. 13, let's see, CBS 13, and this is in Portland. It's a significant increase. Warning, Mainers worried about rising electric bills, fuel costs. Many Maine electric bills will be going up next year due to high fuel prices. We did a live stream, Squirrel Tribe and I did a live stream this morning discussing the impacts of oil, fuel prices, OPEC, Saudi Aramco, oil capacity, petroleum capacity, refineries, and how they're going to impact everybody every single day and hit their wallets and hit their bank accounts and hit their credit cards and increase credit card balances while eating away at paychecks and savings. Folks, pay attention. The supply portion of a CMP bill will go up nearly 50% starting January 1. Burning fossil fuels is how most electricity is produced, and the Public Utilities Commission says there's nothing they can do to lower fuel prices. Nothing they can do. Absolutely nothing they can do. Now, this is not a time where you want to panic and perhaps maybe look at some of your investment vehicles and start cashing out and withdrawing. However, if you do have returns on investments and you need them, it's a good thing you have them. Additionally, if you have investments that can pay dividends, these can help subsidize some of these additional costs that we're seeing now and you can bet money that they're going to continue on and continuously increase as time goes on, very rapidly, very quickly. From utility bills to gasoline and heating oil to food prices, Mainers are getting squeezed just about everywhere they turn. Now is the time to find out, and you will want to do this with the colder temperatures where all your leaks are, where the cold air is sneaking into your home. They are definitely encouraging any sealing up of any drafts to help reduce wasted energy with these costs going up. And folks, what's most important here is that these are just a few of the headlines that I have pulled to share with you today. But just because you don't see your state or your city listed here, this is going to be a nationwide effect on everybody, okay? Now, the amount of the increase and how much it affects you is going to depend on your current utility consumption, where you live, what fuel you need. Some folks are going to use more electricity. Some folks are going to use more gas. Some folks may be using propane. But at the end of the day, these costs are going up. Rising utility bills even push Tippecanoe County. I hope I'm saying this correctly. Tippecanoe County, $125,000 over budget. Now, this one's really alarming. It says that in Indiana, commissioners need $125,000 from revenues to keep the lights and heat on for the rest of the year. They say that it's going to impact us just like the basic consumer, just any other type of homeowner. They're not excluded. This is going to affect everybody. Tippecanoe County Commissioner Dave Byers said electricity prices are up, fuel prices are up. Byers said the county is maintaining some new buildings, but he blames much of the cost on rising utility rates. They don't have any control of that for the most part. Fuel costs have increased across the United States, not just in Indiana, as I was saying, and issues in Texas last year and the Ukraine this year have contributed significantly to the rise in costs. This is according to a spokesperson for the Indiana Office of the Utility Consumer Counselor, Olivia Riviera. Duke Energy spokesperson Mackenzie Barbnick said fuel costs are higher than they've been in a decade, but there could be some relief on the horizon. I would not put a ton of devotion and faith into that relief, and if it were, it's going to be minuscule. It says here that we anticipate we're going to continue to see volatility in the energy market, but we think on the whole next year customers might see a slight decrease over what they saw in 2022. That's all fine and good, but we have to focus on, we have to control what we can control, and that is today. We can't worry about necessarily what these fuel costs could possibly be reduced to in the future. Odds are they're probably going to go up. They're probably going to increase. And in my opinion, I would be preparing for the prices to go up. I would be preparing for these utility costs and these fuel costs, driving these utility costs up to continue to go up. And at the very least, if they do recede, if they do decrease, then we're better off for it. We are much better prepared financially for it. And like hopefully a basic homeowner, you're going to be checking your windows, check your doors, and try to conserve as best you can. Byers said that I am probably one of those good people. I walk around, I see a light on, I flip it off, and then nobody's in there. You try to do the little things you can. These are all going to add up, folks. Saving every dollar, saving every penny when it comes to utility costs and wasteful spending and wasted energy. This is going to add up. Also here, we've got reports that it's no secret that the market is, to put it bluntly, choppy. Just one look at the headlines and you'll see U.S. credit card debt is exploding. Tech layoffs are cascading from FANG to FANG. Now, FANG, if you guys aren't aware, is Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. It's a little acronym they've got there. And it says here that workers strike at more than 100 Starbucks cafes. We're seeing reports of strikes and potential strikes and still waiting on finalization for the railroad workers union strike negotiations. Hopefully we don't see any interruptions there in our railway freight. That could be a huge setback for us all, very detrimental to the U.S. supply chain while facing these struggling times of fuel insecurities, which diesel fuel is a huge drive for the railway freight. We got a lot going on here, folks, so we need to pay attention And we need to be doing all we can to maximize our budgets and save money, reserve energy, stretch everything as far as we can. A little bit off topic here. FDA approves the first ever lab-grown meat product. Now, we know that the farming industry and the food industry is heavily impacted by what's going on and overseas and conflicts of war, Russia invading Ukraine, the diesel supply, fertilizer, grains, they all play a part in this. I'm not really sure about this one, though. Like all presidents, Joe Biden will pardon 2 turkeys next week, but thanks to a major scientific breakthrough, soon all birds may be spared from becoming Thanksgiving dinners. On Thursday, the Food and Drug Administration, for the first time ever, approved lab-grown meat. In this case, chicken created by California startup Upside Foods as safe for human consumption. Now, you guys, comment down below. Would you eat lab-grown meat? Would you eat chickens made in a lab? Safe for human consumption, but I can only imagine what the long-term effects of this could be on the human body, and for health reasons and health concerns, no one really knows beyond some accelerated clinical tests, possibly. Meat cute, unlike the fake meat in Beyond Burgers and the like, lab-grown meat is technically still meat, created and cultured in a lab utilizing a handful of animal cells as a launching pad. Singapore officially opened the market for Frankenflesh last year, which is, I don't even know if I could eat something called Frankenflesh. When startup Eat just gained regulatory approval to sell its chicken to consumers. The development pushed fundraising in the industry into hyperdrive, including a $400 million Series C scored by Upside Foods in April, while the California startup still has a few hoops left to jump through, including USDA inspection. Meanwhile, the FDA's all clear marks a major domestic breakthrough. Fake meats are widely expected to radically reshape the food industry, and it's not just farm animals that should be celebrating. Well, you got to think about this twofold. Remember, I told you guys the future of food. The future of food is going to drive and dictate profitability and power and control for a lot of corporations, but it's also going to affect consumers as they manipulate and control these prices. Third, we want to keep in consideration is that this breakthrough literally just says, farmers, we no longer need you. That's what they're pushing for. Now, it says that cultured meat could likely be produced with 96% less greenhouse gas emissions, 96% less water use, and 99% less land use than traditional animal food production, according to research from the Oxford University's Wildlife Conservation Research Unit, published in the academic journal Environmental Science and Technology, that it is also can be produced with 100% fewer animals. This is breakthrough technology in science that may have adverse effects on human beings' health, but primarily the livelihood and income of American farmers who are possibly going to be included in the next wave of mass layoffs from corporate giants like Walmart, Amazon, Netflix, Twitter. Farmers are about to lose their jobs. They're about to lose their income. Science and technology takes over. The future of food, folks, driven by profit, driven by this green energy agenda, reset of a push. Tim Allen here gives update on Jay Leno after visiting him in the hospital. And it says here that the Toy Story actor spoke with paparazzi outside the Grossman Burns Center on the 17th, November 17th, saying that Leno was feeling better after the comedian suffered burns from a gasoline fire. Leno says that in a statement, "I got some serious burns from a gasoline fire. I'm okay. Just need a week or two to get back on my feet." It says here, this report here says that he's, according to Tim Allen, Jay Leno says he's feeling better and we did some jokes, which is what we do. We commiserated, and he's handsome and he's happy, according to Tim Allen. The hospital is doing a great job taking care of him. I wish Jay Leno the best, and I hope he makes a speedy recovery. Folks, we went through a lot here. There's a lot going on out there. We got a lot more to come. I'm going to continue to bring you guys these updates and insights and helpful information and ways that we can work towards preparing for what is coming, identifying the warning signs, preparing for what is coming, making sure our friends and families are prepared, making sure we are prepared financially, and identifying and executing on solutions so that we don't get wiped out with all that is happening and all that is coming and all that is yet to come. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.